So Waitrose have this thing where it's like, it's quite a smart thing that they do. They have a promotional deal where if you're a My Waitrose member, which is their like loyalty free card, you get a free coffee if you go. So not only are they incentivizing you to sign up for their loyalty card, they're also incentivizing you to go to the place, go to their store, which gives them a higher chance of like turning over a sale every day. It's so smart. I see what they're doing, and I can't help but just like admire the hustle. Okay, so it seems you can't claim the drink twice one day. That's unfortunate. Drink secured, you know the vibes. I got class later today, but nothing too crazy. Sociological theory. I think today is about we're learning about Marxism. Should be quite cool. Like, everyone's in the gym for different reasons, as they have different experiences in life, and thus their modality and reason for training will be different, right? So because me, I'm, I've been exposed to certain things and this, that, it's led me down the path of bodybuilding, right? I've always been naturally drawn to the sport of bodybuilding, right? Powerlifting, maybe not so much, maybe for the ego or whatever, right? But I just like looking sick. With that goal comes certain goals as well in terms of rep ranges, weights, frequency, intensity. In my modality of training, like, it doesn't really matter what's the weight on the bar, right? Or the exercise that you're choosing. Ideally, you want the most stable movement that for the target muscle group, right? And your muscle does not know what weight is on the bar, right? I remember my friend saying, "Oh, you can only bench this much." That's so little, right? Okay, sure, it's little, but what sport are we trying to improve in? Are we trying to improve in lifting as much weight as possible, or are we trying to improve in having the most size as possible, right? And, when you really factor that into your training, then you can throw away the ego and just be like, okay, I'm a bodybuilder, right? As long as I train intensely with good form through a full range of motion, the weight on the bar does not matter. The weight on the bar is a tool, is a medium of yielding stimulus, right? Let's say I can press 30 kilos on the incline dumbbell press for 10 reps. Good form, good range of motion, good tempo, good everything, right? I've yielded a good stimulus, right? Right, now let's say I have a bit of ego and I want to press 34s on the incline. First of all, I'm going to be all pumped up, and like amped up to get the lift, right? Because this is weight I've never touched before, right? So when that occurs, you're usually not thinking about the small details of the lift, right? The kick up, you're going to lose a lot of energy there, the tempo, like how slow you go down, how retracted are your shoulder blades, right? How long of a pause do you do at the bottom, right? There's a lot of things that you miss out when you're too hyped for the lift. And thus, because you miss these small details, you've missed the marginal stimulus that you could have yielded from that weight, essentially. I forgot who it was. I think it was Ian Valliere, who's an IFBB pro from Canada. He said, I'm trying to make, like he was referring to squatting. He said, when I'm squatting 2 plates, I'm trying to make, me squatting 5 plates just as like meticulous as squatting 2 plates. Like, I want to be just as calm squatting 2 plates as I am squatting 5 plates. And I think you can apply that kind of methodology to all lifts, right? If you're too hyped up and like, whoa, you're gonna miss the small intricacies, as I said, and you're not gonna be able to yield as much stimulus. Yielding as much stimulus as possible from the least amount of weight, right? I know it's not good for your ego. You see the dumbbells are a lot lower than your friends, but who's yielding more stimulus? Okay, the game of bodybuilding is about yielding stimulus, right? So in some sense, you can be laughing at them because they're not yielding as much stimulus. You know, I'm very weak on a lot of lifts, but I look very good, and it's evident in my training kind of methodology. I don't care. I literally do not care about the weight on the bar, right? Of course, the weight on the bar has to go up eventually, right? But I take my time, you know. Okay, I have to master the 30 kilos before I move up to 32. And I have to master the 32 kilos at a certain rep range before I can move up to 34, right? I'm in no rush, is what I'm saying. I hope you guys understand that. And, you know, if you're a bodybuilder, then this is certainly the style of training you should be looking to emulate, right? I think Jay Cutler said it best himself. Like him on the lateral raise, he's only doing a max of like 20 pounds, which is like 10 kilos. And his shoulders are pretty freaking big, I'd say. So, you know, cut your ego and just focus on form. It's all about the form. Your muscles, let me tell you one more thing, okay? The most important thing, your muscles do not know what weight is on the bar. You know, your muscles do not know what weight it's is holding, essentially. It only knows how hard it's being worked, right? And you can't work a muscle hard if the weight is too heavy to handle. You can't get that stretch, you know, you're focusing on safety and this, that, right? Whereas if it's a moderate weight that's controllable over, you know, a good rep range, then you can yield a good stimulus. Then you can train the muscle hard, safely, you know. The game of bodybuilding as well is about, you know, the game of training in general, right, is about injury prevention as well. The longer you're not injured, the longer you can train your body, right? You talk to any elite powerlifter, they're also focused on not getting injured, right? They're not just focusing on, oh, I gotta get this lift no matter what. Like, it's my destiny, it's my villain arc, I'm gonna make them pay, right? No, they're also talking about like being sensible and just being like, okay, I don't want to get injured today. I'm gonna do this, right? I'm gonna cut the ego out of the equation and just get the lift at a lower weight, you know, something like that, you know. With a theme in mind of, you know, longevity in the sport equals maximum amount of gains, right? Today is a rehab day. I think a rehab day is very important, right? A rest day should be a kind of rehab day. A day where you work on mobility, a day where you work on kind of strengthening intramuscular muscles, essentially. Or like kind of the supporting muscles or stabilizer muscles, right? Working that kind of external rotation of your shoulder, tibialis, lower traps, or the trap 3 raise, you know, that kind of stuff, right? Although they may not seem like the most glorious lifts, they are certainly lifts that will pay their dividends intangibly, right? I think you work on these lifts and you'll have intangible gains in the sense that you won't be injured, right? It won't be like, oh, I did some weighted external rotations and now my shoulder press has gone out like 50 kilos. No, it's the fact that you're not injured is the result of doing good rehab. This is kind of a thing where you don't see the benefits, but the lack of the bad things is the result, essentially. I hope that makes sense. You know, my aim with these videos is to provide some type of value to you guys, where I'm not trying to, of course, like in Hong Kong, I'm living a very nice lifestyle, right? And maybe I'll attract viewers that are attracted to that kind of lifestyle, but you know, if I stop doing that, right, they were only attracted to the lifestyle, so they're not going to be viewers that stay, right? Whereas if I provide some type of value to you guys, like through you know, life kind of motivation, perspectives on life, perspectives on training, and kind of some insight into, you know, useful things, basically, providing some type of value to your guys' life in terms of training or life, right? Then my retention of you guys will be a lot higher, right? You'll be connected to me as a person. I think that's just how it works in general in life, right? When you're making friends, doing this, right? If you're attracted to someone just for their money, right? Or their physique or this, that, right? Once that thing goes, they're gone, right? Whereas if I'm talking to you just as a person, and I provide some type of value, like, you know, spoken wise, right? You can't really ever take away the spoken word, or the mindset for that matter. I guess it all goes back to mindset. I've always been talking about mindset. And it's true, like, once I become an old raggedy fart, right, the mindset will still be there. So I aim to provide some type of value to you guys, for my benefit and for your benefit, of course. Oh, Aiden told me about retracting your scapula on the lift to get more stretch on your chest, and that led me to get more gains, right? Maybe even 5 years down the line, if you remember that tip, you're gonna remember me who gave you that tip, and I feel like that's kind of the most important thing. And this YouTube thing is a mutually beneficial thing, right? If I give you enough value, right, you know, my channel can be monetized. I can make money off giving value to other people, right? It's a mutually beneficial trade in some aspect, just to keep it real, right? But me personally, I don't really need the money, right? I'm at university for data science, and I have a kind of career path that I want to do, but I like the sport of bodybuilding. I like training. I like speaking about training. I like speaking about life and this kind of motivational sphere that I'm currently in. Right? I like all kind of these things, and if I were able to make this a career out of this, then I certainly do think it'd be great. You know, it'd be quite beneficial. It'd be quite enjoyable. You know, who doesn't want to have their dream or, you know, things they like to do as their job? So for me, I really like bodybuilding. I really like this whole sport, you know, and if that could be my career, then yeah, that'd be amazing, right? And I can't just hope that this will be my career, because hope is a dangerous thing, right? Hope puts it far away. It puts it like over there, right? In the dream category. But you don't want it to just be delegated to only a dream. Hope is like, oh, okay, I hope this will happen, but you're not really putting steps in place to be like, okay, this will happen because I did these certain things, right? So in that vein of thought, right, I believe it's gonna happen. I believe I'm gonna get a career in this bodybuilding kind of sphere, health sphere, because I'm gonna put enough effort and input, enough time to making that happen, right? You shouldn't hope for things to happen. You should make it happen, right? There's a lot of brain dead content where it's just like very well edited videos that are interesting, but that provide no value to that person's life. You know, the kind of like, what would you rate this person's car on a scale of 1 to 10? Do you think others would agree? What would you rate this person's car on a scale of 1 to 10? Do you think they would agree? And why? You know, that kind of brain dead content, it provides no value to people's lives. It's just kind of interesting to watch, if that makes sense. But anyways, enough rambling. Let's get this day frickin' started. I have a lot of clothes that I bought too oversized and they don't fit too well. So, yeah. And also I have one shirt that my new dog, Tucker, he bit, or no, rather he scratched with his talons that he has. And then he like put a big hole in one of my shirts, one of my favorite quarter zips. So yeah, gotta get that fixed as well. Hopefully the price isn't too crazy. We'll see.